World of WoW, episode 43, recorded on September 20th, 2009.
Howdy, folks.
I'm Brent Copeland.
I'm Eric Fullerton.
I'm Wes Wilson. I always go third. What does he?
I'm always confused.
I know. We've done this how many times?
Well, we missed you last week.
That's right.
Everything.
Well, then I should have even.
Tumultuous.
Me going next should never have even been considered.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to last week's episode, by the way, yet.
It was the best episode.
It was. We've gotten
Yeah.
so many comments on how wonderful that episode is.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
No.
We got a few, I think.
I wish we got more user or listener feedback for this show.
Yeah. We still need an iTunes review of 2009.
Yeah.
Or 100.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get on into the meat.
Into now loading, which is what we're doing in this episode, which is we got a discussion on Brewfest, of course, because that's hot and heavy right now.
Cool.
They just released some new information for Cataclysm in the Abyssal Maw.
Nice.
And then we have an add-on of the day.
Sweet.
Of the week. Something.
I didn't even know we did that anymore.
We started it back up last week when you were not present.
I see how
That's
this
right.
goes.
Yeah, we did some cool add-ons last time.
I think it's very important.
Achievement add-ons, right?
Yeah, and it gives a way for maybe listeners if they feel like, hey, I've got an add-on that I want to tell them about, so I'm going to tell them about it, and maybe it'll spark conversation.
And then, if we talk about an add-on, say, that you made, you can guarantee at least 8 people will hear that, and they'll go rush and download it, and you'll be rolling in the fame.
Ooh, that's true. We should start talking to add-on developers.
You should.
Or something.
They should start listening. How about that? Because we talk to them.
Okay, so next up is our status. Which, Eric, how was your week in WoW?
My week was pretty good. I hit 75. I think last episode I was totally confused into what level I even was. But anyway, I finally hit 75. Like, 75, 76, 74, somewhere around there. So that was cool. I'm not doing any more AV. Last week I was talking about the fact that I was trying to level through, Northrend just by doing AV. But, I thought about it again. I thought, I'm missing out on a lot of gold. I'm missing out on rep stuff. I'm just, I don't know. And frankly, AV got really boring.
Can't imagine. Really?
Yeah.
Boring? Same thing over and over again?
Yeah. I mean, you can do it while you watch a movie, and that's kind of why I was doing it last time. Just watch a movie.
Were you idling?
Wow. No, I wasn't actually idling.
A video about how bad that is.
No, I actually wasn't idling. So, yeah.
When you think you know someone.
Wow.
I knew a lot of Alliance people did that.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Kidding.
You're not kidding.
I am.
But
You believe it in your soul.
No, I don't. I love our Alliance listeners because I'm sure we're predominantly have Alliance listeners because we always talk about Alliance stuff.
Yeah. We do? It's just so easy to play AV. I'm just saying it's kind of mind-numbing.
I always loved AV. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I always loved it. I really wish it would go back to old school AV that lasted hours and hours and hours and had quests and big giant things and druids running across the board and all kinds of other stuff.
Oh, yeah. I missed that too. Oh, well. What else did I do? I didn't really do much. Just leveling. Plain old leveling up. Lots of dragon quests. I'm kind of getting tired of seeing dragons.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I know. And I'm only 75, but, I went to an area, and I forget where I'm at. Dragonblight something?
Yeah.
And it's a big, dugout area. There's just bones, dragon bones. There's dragons flying around. There's quests where you have to throw a seed or something at an elite dragon, and then it comes down and you kick its butt.
Yeah.
And then it's just dragon, people flying around dragons. Just
Man, I'm glad you're getting sick of dragons because, like in an upcoming patch, we'll get Onyxia, which is
another dragon.
Yeah.
And then in an expansion coming up in the next year is Cataclysm that was started by a big dragon.
I know.
I have a feeling you're going to see a few more dragons in your
just like
World of WoW.
Like in BC, there weren't dragons everywhere.
Well, that's because it wasn't an integral part to the plot. I mean, that's a whole chunk of this expansion is about dragons and them fighting other dragons.
It's just kind of a letdown because, like, I like the World of Warcraft, or just the Warcraft universe and the lore and everything. And some of the bad guys or you know, the evil guys or whatever are unique, and the heroes, but it's just like, dragons, really? Like,
yeah, but that's a huge chunk of the lore books. It's all about the dragon flight.
Yeah, I know. I just like, I'm tired.
Pre-expansion, right? You had the Emerald Dragons, all these portals with dragons guarding. You had Onyxia, then you had Blackwing Lair.
Yeah,
you know, dragons.
It's always been dragons, dude.
You know,
I
know. Good Aeon.
I'm just saying, it always has been dragons, and I'm tired of dragons.
You're ready for something
and
new.
like, and like, this is a fantasy.
See, I'm tired of
there's orcs and humans. That's very cliche as well. But like, can't we get something new, Blizzard? Can't you just make up something new? You know?
Well, there's walrus men.
Now that is very cool, and I really love the walrus men. More cool stuff like that. I love that.
I like their kites. They have cool kites.
You'll be able to get one of those kites.
They do have really cool kites. So that's my week. I'm leveling up, getting tired of dragons.
I'm on a kite. Anyway, sorry.
Like everything you think of. I'm on a turtle.
So I'm just all complaining this week. Sorry. I would like to take part in the Brewfest. Actually, you know, I kind of don't. I'm going to be more complaining again. I didn't like it last year, or the year before that. Do they still do the things where the little gnomes like drill up and?
Yep.
The dwarves, yes.
Yeah, the dwarves.
The gnomes.
I don't know.
I think you're not getting into the lore a little bit. Okay, so like the dwarves. There's dwarves. Corin, Brewfire, something like that, is in BRD. He's in the bar there, right?
Right.
And he's getting all mad because we won't let him get involved with the Brewfest. He's got to stay down there.
Because all the Dark Iron dwarves are such jerks that, you know, they can't come up and party with us all. So he sends a bunch of his people up to screw with the Brewfest.
And so they drill up, and they're like all trying to mess up. They're trying to destroy the kegs. And so your job is to kill them before they destroy the big kegs. Because if they destroy all the big kegs, no free liquor, right?
Yeah.
No free booze.
Okay.
So you got to kill them and get the gear. A gear will be on the ground that you get to get a quest, and you'll get tickets for it. On the opposite end, there's a spy in the Guzzlemore, or Guzzle.
The Grim Guzzler.
Yeah, that you go talk to, who says, "Hey, Corin's about to mess up with the fair, so y'all need to get here like on the quick and take care of him. You know, take care of him. And that's another quest that you can go stop him before he even, you know, hassles the fair.
Well, see, it's funny. I went to go do that today because it just said you need to go down there and insult him, and I'm like, well, we can do that, you know. So me and my wife decide to get, you know, we sneak on in, you know, and we walk, you know, through BRD and get there, and we're like, here he is. All we got to do is insult him. We can't beat him. We can't get his loot because he's got like 300k hit points and has 3 ads and a bunch of other stuff. But anyway, we're like, but we can at least insult him, and you know, we'll get the achievement. You got to beat him.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Well,
so he killed us each in one hit, and that was it.
We kind of, well, I guess we can say that. Well, we're kind of going into now. We'll go into it now a little bit. We actually took the group because we figured it was kind of like the Christmas quest, you know, where you had to go fight that guy. And so we took a full group down there. Now, there's some nice things about it is that they did let you summon people, even though you're way over the level for the stone there. You can summon level 80s there. So if you get 2 people, you can just summon them straight there. And then you can share the quest. You just have to have the beginning quest, and then you can share it amongst people. And it's a pretty easy fight once you have 5 people. 2 people, not so much.
No, especially we're both cloth wearers.
Yeah, that probably hurts.
Yeah, it did. 1 hit. Boop. Bye-bye. No more. No more Lubin and Elsbeth.
That sounds painful.
Yeah.
So I guess we can get back into that when we talk about Brewfest stuff. So continue your week, Mr. Complainerson.
I like lore, but I ignore the lore.
I don't like reading. That's the thing. Like, you know,
if there was more audio, that's what you need.
Yeah, you know, man. It's just like WoW makes it so hard to follow the story and the lore, you know. I mean, unless you're willing to read and memorize and stuff, like, can't they present it in a better way for people just relaxing and chilling out and, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm really hoping they take some kind of stuff from the new games, like, you know, Star Wars MMO,
Star Wars.
Conan, the first 20 level MMO,
exactly.
the voice acting from it. Maybe they'll do that in Cataclysm. Maybe they'll be much more, because I think that would be great.
They need to
hear people tell them the questions.
Well, and I don't really think it would be that big of a deal. What you do is I think this would be cool. You go up to a quest giver, and you get his quest. Okay, he has it written, but then if you want, you could play the audio. So like, I go to a city, I grab a quest, and then while I'm going to where I'm doing that quest, I play the audio, and it's kind of dramatic, and it explains it a little more detailed, and it gives me something to do while I'm riding to that quest. I think that would be
a good idea.
Now, what do you think about this? What do you think about, because this is fully possible, I believe, if someone wrote an add-on and kind of did that.
Ooh, crowdsource this.
You know, and exactly, like, where you say, okay, here's the add-on, and what I need is basically, here's all the quests in the game, check out which one you want to do, record it, and send me the file.
Right.
I'll compress it and put it in blah, 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 and then you just kind of, you know, say if I'm already 70, I only want the 70-plus quests right now. Later on, I'll get the rest or whatever, and kind of do it in packs like that.
That's a good idea. I know that the thing would be really big.
It'd be huge.
A couple gigs. Or if you had a nice server and a lot of bandwidth, you could just have all that stuff being streamed down. But I don't know if you're allowed to do that in Lua.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll let kind of like an outside source like that come out, but I know they will let you play like MP3 files. You know, I mean, I've had add-ons that did that. So
okay.
I would think if they could detect the quest and like quest text, which some add-ons kind of do that already. That it seems like you just kind of connect in with that. That, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
It may be pointless after Cataclysm.
Yeah. You know, even if it was a couple of gigs, if it was like 8 to 10 gigs, I would actually still download it. I don't care.
Oh, I'd do it in a heartbeat, even with the crappy acting that would be there.
Well, but that's just it. I also think there would be some really excellent people who would do some good work, and if you treated it like a wiki, you know, and had it crowdsourced, I think you could end up with some really cool stuff.
Yeah, and then you find these people who, hey, you did a great Thrall. Will you do all these quests? Because these all involve Thrall talking.
Yeah.
You know, and then you did a great this. Why don't you go ahead and finish out these quests, and, you know, kind of like that, and you kind of even have the same voice for all the same people and things like that. It was really interesting.
They did this right with Warcraft 3 and even 2 to some extent. You know, they had you know, cutscenes. You know, they were voiced out, but you could see what's going on.
Well, there's cutscenes in Lich King.
Well, I heard that there was just one, and I don't know if just one really cuts it. I might as well go to WarcraftMovies.com and start watching some machinima that somebody made. I mean,
I thought that was more than the Wrathgate. I thought that was just one of them.
I mean, it's a step in the right direction. I'm just saying they need cutscenes all the time, and they need to be optional. I'm demanding this. You know what I mean? Like, you better be able to skip something. Like, don't slow the game down because of this. But, you know, give the lazy people an option. I want to sit back and watch a movie. I'd rather watch a movie than read a book. That's just the way I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they could do it a little bit like the way that Aeon does it, is on some of the plot-oriented quests. Like when you go to a new area, you get like your character will have major plot quests, and on those, whenever they'll voice the quest text and also zoom the camera to the area you're going, and all it is just a roaming camera zoom, and you can escape out of it if you want to, but it'll even show you the area where you need to go and what you need to do.
Oh, that's nice.
You know,
it's kind of like seeing the opening scenes in WoW for each race.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty slick.
Interesting. So we keep taking your week of and just shifting over into actual discussion.
Yeah, I know.
It sounds like a good week so far. Anything else?
Pretty awesome. I just bought I Am T-Pain on my cell phone.
Yeah.
Scribblenauts, got that on the DS, but no more WoW stuff. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Wes?
I had a fairly light week. I went to Dragon Con last weekend, and so I didn't get to play any then. I've been, I've had a couple of nights of running around with my wife. I'm about 5 bubbles away from being level 80.
Nice.
Sweet.
And
I thought you had an 80 already.
Nope.
Oh, wow.
And we are just now getting into Storm Peaks, doing those quests down there near, what is it, the K2 or whatever that area is down there at the bottom. Little goblin zone. And we started working on those. Additionally, I've been trying to do some more dailies. I've been doing my fishing and my cooking daily every day, and I'm almost done with my Northrend Gourmet. My fishing is up to 419, I think. I'm going and doing my 2 Walrusmen, Kalawak, whatever they are, those quests every day. And I'm feeling kind of like a bad person because every day I go and steal those poor Wolvar's babies.
Poor Wolvar.
And I just don't. I don't feel like a good person for this.
Right.
I'm killing their den mother and stealing the babies and delivering them to another race of people. I don't know what they're doing with them. I don't know that they're
eating the baby.
It could be. They could be using them as bait. They're all fishing. They got to be using something. And I just don't feel like a good person for
maybe
that.
you should stop those.
Well, I want the rep.
No.
They could have me club baby seals for rep, and I do that too.
So you're doing that one, and you're doing the one where you pick up the little cases?
Yeah.
There's one more, if you want to know about.
Okay.
This took me a while to figure out because you have to actually, on the other side, at Howling Ford, there's some islands out there. And there's a quest that the pirates give you further on to go kill a named, like, beach whale thingy.
Yeah.
Or manatee thing with the whiskers.
Yeah.
After you kill him, you will then get a quest from the Kahlua Act that's a daily for 500, and basically it's
for 500. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's what the other ones are.
And basically, it's to get a male walrus guy to run across the water to the females, and you do this by getting fish out of the ocean, and you keep throwing them to it, and then like pulling them across the ocean each time you throw them one.
Okay.
So it's an easy, fast one to do.
Yeah.
It took me until I only need to do it 3 days to figure out what it was. I had to actually go look it up because it's such a weird side quest to get to it.
I haven't touched Howling. The only reason I've ever gone into Howling Fjord is to get warg meat and shovel tusk meat.
Fun. There's another achievement over there you'll want to get, the turkeys.
Yeah.
I think you hug like 15 turkeys or something in like a minute.
Yeah.
Well, they're over there. They're Howling Ford turkeys.
Okay.
Turkey hugger.
Cool. But anyway, so I've been doing that. I've been doing my daily Ebon Dragon Shrine quest, killing the dragons and the drakes and
more dragons.
And then let's see, what else have I been doing? Like I said, my fishing's doing pretty well. I got bored the other day, and since I had the 4-month-old in tow, I really couldn't do anything all that complex. So I ran around and flew around the old world and hugged animals, loved animals. So I got that achievement. I finally got the last Outlands cooking daily quest, so I got that achievement. So I've been doing a bunch of lame old achievements.
It's okay. Once you hit 80, that's all you got to look forward to.
So, but yeah, and then as soon as I hit 80, I'm probably going to start doing some heroics with my friends. But
that'll be fun. I'll tell you what, the 80 heroics are fun, but apparently Oculus is not, because that's the only one I need.
Yeah. To
finish out all my Outland or my Wrath heroics, and no one will do it. I'll be like, who wants to do Oculus? No, not gonna happen. It's no fun. Apparently, I guess it's pretty difficult when it first started out, because it's the one where you're riding on dragons a lot. And apparently, when you started out, the dragons all kind of had the same stats. So no matter how geared up you were, it didn't matter. So your dragon was still the same stats or whatever. But apparently now they gear up, and the better gear you have, the better your dragon stats are. So now it's supposed to be a little easier. But people will just not run it, and I have yet to see it as a daily heroic. And that's it. Everybody's like this, we'll just wait till it's a daily heroic. I mean, I have people who have been in Wrath for, we were out for like, 8 months, 9 months or something. So I can understand not doing it. They still need it after 9 months. Like, they hate it that much, and I'm like, really? So
I did do one other thing. I got on as me and Wendy got on as our level 26 Hordes on Dawnbringer, and Seelan made some bags for us, and we've been running around killing stuff in around Tarn Mills, and it's been kind of fun. I'm not really looking forward to leveling up another character, but at the same time, I mean, 27's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I've got to say too, it's like we said a few things. A lot of people came over and started playing. Like, we actually had a lot of people who went and with the faction change started playing on Alliance a little bit because they said, well, it's just a little different because they'd never played Alliance, and so they thought they'd play a little bit of Alliance for Cataclysm, I guess. So they still come back for like raids and stuff like that with their main characters, but you don't see them as much during the weeks as you used to. But with all the new people, we still have the same amount of people in there. So I can't wait for Cataclysm. I think we're going to have over 25 people, constantly for all the raids and everything, and be just set. And so far, everybody has kind of fit in. I haven't heard too many complaints or anything. And I don't know if the offer's really still open for everybody to join. Because if also only 100 people joined, it might get a little freaky. But basically, if a few people join at a time, we're just going to make them initiates, and if they fit in, they can stay. If they're jokers in a bad way, then we will boot them.
Or
harshly.
Midnight tokers. So, I'm thinking about when you're talking about Oculus being annoying and finding it hard to find people to do. There's so many things I'm probably going to miss out on when I'm 80 because everybody's done it, and it's old and it's stupid and it's boring, and they just don't want to help anybody out anymore. And that's understandable. But, things like I want to do the Leroy achievement. I'm sure everybody did that probably the first week it came out.
Yeah.
But, I haven't done it. And
but you can probably do that by yourself.
Yeah, you can probably solo it. I soloed it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I went into BRD, and I got about 10 elites on me. All I did was freeze them in place and drop a blizzard on them, and they were mostly dead.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. And no, I mean, if you need help for something, the guild definitely jumps up and helps people. It's just kind of in this, people are like, nah, we'll wait for that. And that's the only dungeon. Like, all the other dungeons, they're all over, and we're doing dungeons all the time. It's just that one dungeon that's just kind of like, they still need it too, right? So it's that bad. It's not like, well, we've got ours, so screw you. It's just, we don't have ours either, and we're just going to wait for a daily to do it. So.
Oh, yeah. Man, I can't wait to do a dungeon. I haven't done a dungeon since I returned to WoW.
I haven't done it. When Lich King first came out, we ran the Nexus, and that's the only instance I've run in Wrath.
Same here. Yeah. I did that at 71 or 72 or something, but I haven't done anything else.
Well, how about definitely let's run the non-heroic Oculus.
Can I do that?
Mixture.
Can I do that at 75?
I don't know what level Oculus is, but I think you can actually get into any dungeon at 65 that's non-heroic in Wrath.
Okay.
Like, you can actually bring people up, and you can bring level 1s up and bind them in Dalaran if you want to, if they have the expansion.
Okay. That's cool. Let's do it. It's a date.
It's a date.
It is.
Now Seelan says Oculus is an 80 non-heroic, but you can still get in. It's just tough.
Okay. I'll do it.
I think. I may be making that up. I'll double check later.
Probably.
Next episode.
Alright. Well,
and you've been doing, well, we're going to get back into Brewfest stuff later, though. But we're still on your week.
Oh, yeah, I went and got the pirate. I went and got the pirate achievement.
Saturday.
Yep. I was running around trying to hug animals, and I realized I'm in Ratchet. Why don't I just, why don't you just go over there and get this achievement thing? So I went over and got it, and then I ended up going to hug a frog in Zangarmarsh. Yeah. And when I took off in Shatra and started flying towards Zangarmarsh, all of a sudden my 12-hour-long pirate costume disappeared. I still have no idea why.
Weird.
Maybe the time's different up there.
I don't know. I guess so. Or maybe you can't be a pirate in Outland. Maybe they only let you do it in the old world.
It's 12 hours difference in Outland. Time change.
Yeah. That would be
Wouldn't that suck if there's like time changes in the world?
That'd be like is it racist? No. Is it what is it? When you're
factionist?
Yeah, maybe.
Xenophobic.
Piratist.
Yeah.
I don't know. We had someone on our server that, a guy in our guild was talking in pirate speak, in like say or whatever, and some guy was like, "Nerd much?" It was like, you're really asking this guy, and it's Saturday, and you're playing WoW.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty.
News
Is that
and
it for your week?
discussion.
Yeah, no, I did. I've been playing some Aeon, which nobody here cares about.
Dun dun dun.
I've been playing the Arkham Asylum demo, which nobody here cares about.
Mm-hmm.
I was on Multiplaying this week, the podcast. I definitely recommend everybody go check it out. They do a great little podcast. They talk about all the gaming they're doing. They are not playing WoW currently, but they do a great podcast on a variety of games. You can go to www.multiplaying.net. I guest hosted there. The new episode is up already. So
That's quick.
Very cool. And I guess for my week, I did a lot of the same Brewfest and Pirate Day stuff, and we'll get into the Brewfest stuff. I did get exalted with a lot of people this week, the Kaluka Kukua. I got my penguin and my pole, so I upgraded my pole a little bit. I got Diplomat, which is the achievement for, I believe it's, the two I had to work on were Sporgar and Timbermaw, and I think the other one was the Maghar, and you get a titled Diplomat. One thing, if you do want to go back and work on factions, they've made it so much easier these days. Like, if you haven't done the quest, that's great. If you have, it used to be you'd get like one faction per kill. Now it's 20. I know with the Timbermaw it was 20 until revered, and then you had to turn in necklaces or I forget what they were. But they were headdresses. Save the headdresses. Don't turn them in until you're revered. Unless you get over like 200, because then it's extra faction. And then I've been doing the Crusade stuff. I'm working on getting Valiant with the Trolls right now, so I'll be able to put up their flag when I want to. But I'm actually, that's one of the factions I still need to earn faction for. And so instead of, once I get my 25 tokens, instead of turning it in, I'm just going to sit there and keep doing the quests and saving up tokens, and because it's an easy 1,000 rep each day just off those quests, so I'll just keep doing that until I get exalted with them, and then turn in my tokens, and then I'll probably have enough tokens to immediately turn in and get the same thing with the undead, and then I'll have it all complete. So I'm looking forward to that in 10 days, I guess, 5 per day, so yeah, like 10 days.
That's cool.
But that's about it. Then just running around with the guild and stuff. So yeah, news and discussions.
News and discussions. Oh wait, wrong podcast.
All right, discussion of the day. What's gonna be?
I got pulled out of here, but Brewfest.
Brewfest. Okay.
So how do you feel about most of these world events? I mean,
I don't know. I have mixed. Really, it depends on what time of day, and by that I mean my willingness to overachieve in WoW, or like to like when I was 70 and I had everything, I had gone through a ton of different instances, never really got into the high level raid stuff. Like I think we were just started on Gruul and didn't quite make it in there for some reason. We just ran out of people or something.
Yeah.
At that point I was doing I did the midsummer
festival.
I did all that, bought all the gear, did all that stuff. Went to every single little place I had to go, and anyway, totally maxed that out. And then the next one came along. So it depends if I'm busy, and I was not busy at 70 with all the stuff I had. Right now, I could care less about Brewfest because I'm level 75. I haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
I need to get to 80, then I'll chill out. There'll always be time to do Brewfest next year.
Now, the only thing that sucks is the achievement points. If you're into the achievement points, it's like, do you do enough to get the achievements for that year?
And that I feel the same way about that too. Since I'm 75, I could care less about achievements. That's not, But once I'm 80, I need to save some stuff up to do at 80. So I'm not doing any achievements right now. Right. I'm not even doing things like cooking and fishing. My fishing is way below par in the zone that I'm in. There's no way I can. I don't even think I can fish at all in Northrend because I need to level. And then when I'm 80, I'll be fishing.
Well, and they've changed the and God, I'm going to get this wrong because my fishing's been high enough for a long time, but they've changed the mechanics of fishing. Instead of not being able to fish in places, you just fish up crap.
Yeah.
You know, people in the chat room, thank you very much. They're already saying that you can fish anywhere now. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, you fish up weeds and old torn line and pieces of cloth and driftwood.
Oh, okay.
And the old school thought was you skill up anywhere just the same amount. It's just a number of casts. It's not like a lucky thing. You're not going to cast once and level up or skill up, and then immediately the next cast skill up again. It doesn't work like that. It's like 10 cast, you skill up. It depends where your skill is, but the higher your skill level, the more cast in between each cast. So like now it's probably taking me 30 cast or 20 cast, and there's a chart somewhere that probably tells exactly how many cast it takes. But that's what it takes to skill up. And the thought was you could skill up in your beginning city because it was the lowest level place to skill up, and the only problem then was, if you miscast and it catch anything, you can't get a skill up.
Right.
So you would want to skill up in the easiest possible place.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now I don't know. A lot of that's changed. There's L's Fishing Angler something. Search for it. There's a awesome fishing site. I think it's like L's Anglin or something like that. Maybe we can put it in the notes. I'll try to find it and put it in there. But it's a great place to learn about fishing.
Okay.
Sorry.
Cool.
I was going to say something, and then you went.
Well, we were talking about Brewfest in general and these kind of quests.
Yeah, my whole thing is I'm grumpy because I did most of the Brewfest stuff the first year it came out. And one would think that all that information was stored somewhere. I mean, I'll give you for instance, I on the one with the coins where you go and get the tokens from each of the people, was it Fire Festival or something like that? The elders, all the elders.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, Lunar something.
The Lunar Festival. Yeah. So on the Lunar Festival, I completed all these quests, and somewhere on my character that's written. You know what I mean? That's stored in my database on my character somewhere, because there were, when I came back the next year, people who I still had coins for, I couldn't interact with them again.
Right.
Yeah.
And so my whole thing is that information is somewhere, and the fact that wasn't translated into the achievements being completed is very frustrating to me.
Well, check on some of those. Actually open up the full achievement where because it may actually have some of those people.
Well, yeah, I know, but at the same time, like, I did a lot, like, especially like there was a couple that I worked really, really hard on, and I was really disgusted when I came back and found, I just have to do it all again.
Yeah.
But it's been a while now, and I haven't done these in a while, so they're a little less annoying.
Right. Well, and I think the problem with the Lunar Festival, and it's kind of a problem with itself, is they reset those every year. And thank you for DJ Crimson Fox for reminding us of that.
Yeah.
They actually reset that so you can do it over and over again every year.
Yeah.
Get that faction.
Yeah.
So that's why it probably didn't store that instance of it.
But anyway,
But no, I agree with you completely. It's like the first year, it's cool, and I think the big problem is achievements, right?
Yeah.
Because now the achievements, if they don't have the information stored, it feels like you're rerunning all this stuff, and you are.
Yeah.
Just for achievements.
Right.
And I'm hoping, like, next year, it'll have a completely different feel.
Right.
Like, I only do what I want to do now.
Right.
Instead of, I need this achievement.
And I do like that there are so many world events. I mean, when there was just, a few, and they had a lot of it, but the fact that, like every once in a while there's stuff going on, know? Yeah. And that's cool. I kind of like that, but at the same time, I do find it very frustrating that periodically you end up in a position where you're doing the same thing over again in order to get credit for it the first time.
Yeah.
And that's mostly the achievement stuff. But I mean, I don't know. It feels frustrating to me on some level. So.
Yeah, and I wish there was more silly fun to do. I know they're adding in stuff kind of every year a little bit more and more, but I don't know, maybe it's because our Oktoberfest here, which this is definitely mirroring, they actually have like rides and stuff. I think it'd be fun if they had like a Ferris wheel or something where all you did was sit in and it was a big giant Ferris wheel and you just got up really high in the sky or whatever, but it was like you're riding a Ferris wheel, ride on the different rides and things like that.
And I do think it would be remarkably easy for them to create 2 entirely new events going on for every single. I mean, that's 30 quests a year when they have most of these things already coded in there. You could just have one guy who all his job is during the year is to make these events more interesting, and you could accomplish it.
Yeah, I agree completely. I would love to see something new every year. I mean, I know they do, they'll do little things, but to actually, definitely a new quest. I don't know of really anything new this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they had I didn't do last year's, but I know from what people were saying is they had the same boss that you fight last year and everything. So.
Yeah.
And I remember when Dark Moon Fair came out, it was so grindy. I mean, it was ridiculously grindy, and I never did anything with it.
Yeah.
The only thing, I got all of those cards. I got the Madness deck, or the Trinket.
And there's new ones.
And another one. And I still use them. I use, only one of them right now. It's the Madness one.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you plus a lot of stamina and then does a random buff when you kill somebody for honor.
Yeah, and that's awesome leveling up. You'll have like 20 buffs on you.
Yeah, it's great. I'm a warrior, so it pops all the time, and it's really cool. So, I really like that, but other than that, yeah, the Dark Moon Fair was really grindy. There was a lot of really... I don't know.
Me and my regular group got together and we ground out the Twisting Nether one. For me, I was the cleric, and it's the self-res. It's the self-res trinket. And I have never had it pop.
I remember that.
Never. It has never done a res on me.
It doesn't work effectively for people over a certain level, like 60 or something.
Really? I didn't know that. But this was all first thing.
Yeah, because I was almost going to get that one for our arena team.
Yeah.
I thought that would be awesome.
Yep.
Do an arena, and so I started saying, because that was the Portals deck, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Portals?
Yeah. I think so. Sounds familiar.
But anyway, long ago, no one wants it now anyway. But I thought it'd be awesome in an arena team. All of a sudden, you pop back up, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway. Brewfest. Do we actually want to go over specific things? The main things I noticed this year, the first year. For Horde, you could win tickets and buy the Brewfest RAM, which I did, and I got. And Alliance could only get the RAM, right? Y'all couldn't get the Kodo.
Right.
Second year, I believe they pulled out the Kodo for Horde, and you could no longer get the RAM. Or y'all still just the RAM?
I have no idea.
So third year, I don't see any mounts you can buy this year. Maybe it's because I already have one. That I can't, but they have some stuff you can put on your existing mount. Like it says, make your mount more festive, and then they have different flavors.
It's like the mistletoe for Christmas.
Yeah, and so you can get the ones that are basically like, it has to be Brewfest, and it only lasts for this long or whatever, and then one the highest one works all the time, basically.
Yeah. Seelan says that the mounts are dropping off Corrin Direbrew.
Right, and so the only way you can get the mounts is from Corrin now.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the only way. One cool thing is if you're a Horde and you did get the Brewfest RAM the first year and you need to get more mounts, go back because you can actually buy the 10 gold version, the non-elite version from you just look for the peddlers where you're actually throwing the barrels, and you can actually buy that. So it's like an extra mount that you can throw in there, so you can get two. But yeah, I would like to get the Kodo. I don't know. Kodos look ugly to me, but it's a mount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend who got the Dragon Hawk. What do you have to 200 mounts to get that thing?
100.
Something ridiculous.
Well, in the first one you get the albino Drake at 50, I believe, or so.
Yeah.
I did get the pet. I bought the pet today from the purple elephant.
Mm-hmm.
So I got enough tickets today to buy that from the Brewfest.
Well, okay.
But I still need to get items for the achievement. You got to buy 3 clothing items, Now you said you already bought those.
Yeah, well, I got my clothing items the first year they had Brewfest, so and they've just been sitting in the bank. So I went and picked them up and got drunk and danced in Dalaran and got my little achievement, you know.
See, that's what I need, but I need, it's 350 tickets. So
yeah, that's a lot.
350 tickets.
How are you even going to get that many?
I got 150 today.
Yeah, but that's when you can do everything, right?
Right.
How many of them can you...
I want to say, I think you can probably get like 50 tickets a day or something like that.
Okay.
I'll have to see tomorrow when
So that's 7 straight days of doing all that stuff, and that probably won't let you join the Brew of the Month Club, because you got to have another 200 for that.
Now, and it's on for 2 weeks.
Is it?
I think, the Brewfest this year.
Okay, well then you could afford it.
So, and that's all I want. I want the 3 other items and the Brew of the Month.
Yeah.
And then that should give me all achievements and all the items, and then next year I won't have to do anything but go get drunk if I want to.
Yeah.
I do want, there is an item that falls off Corin Dire Brew that basically is a portal all the way to BRD, all the way to the bar. You know how if you go to the BRD basically to get up to the Guzzler instead of running up there, as soon as you enter in BRD, go to the right and there's some guys there, you kill them and you click on these things and it's basically an elevator that takes you straight up to the Guzzler.
Sweet.
And then you get out and you can do your quest and gate out. Well, this item does the same thing but from wherever you are for your whole group.
Oh, wow.
And it was a blue trinket, I think. Dire Brew Remote.
Can you still get the what was that pet that you only can see when you're drunk?
The Wolpentinger.
Wolpentinger? Yeah.
Yes.
Can you get that anymore? Because I remember I got that.
I got another one this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What does it do? Is it?
It's a pet. It's a pet.
I mean, what does it do if you have more than one?
I have basically it's a stein that you click to give it to you, and it basically just says you already have this.
Oh, so it doesn't count as okay.
I mean, I got tickets I think for the quest, maybe I can't remember, but okay. Yeah, so I'll probably just destroy it, right?
Yeah, okay.
Or sell it if I can sell it to the...
I thought maybe it was a different color and it counted towards the number of pets that you have.
No.
That'd be nice.
No, I did get a different color stein this year. I got a green one.
Yeah.
Or I had a yellow one, I guess. And I got a green one this year.
Oh, okay.
And so you can actually get alcohol in one from the big keg and then put it in your backpack and get alcohol with the other one and put it in your big keg.
Okay.
Which is helpful when you want to get drunk right before you jump off a big hill to try to get the stupid drunk achievement, whatever it is.
October 5th.
I got a funny story about the stupid drunk achievement. My wife, what I did was that's the one where you have to fall 65 feet, right? Is that
Yards, feet, whatever.
Anyway, so I go and I get really, really drunk with my little green thing, and I go and I'm a mage, so I port back to Dalaran and I go to the landing platform and I just take my mount and I fly really, really high above the landing platform, and then I turn off my mount and then I ice block right before I hit the ground. Okay? And so I get the achievement, right? Well, my wife is watching and she's like, oh, hey, what's going on there? And so I tell her what you need to do. So she goes over and I look over and she's a priest and I'm like, well, you're not high enough. You're not going to fall, that's not 65 feet. I'm like, you need to go higher. And so I held the space bar down a little bit and got her high. She goes, I'm going to die if I fall this far. I'm like, no, you won't. You'll be fine. Well, of course she died. So she's all mad at me.
About that all night.
Yeah, so she's all mad at me and she's like, oh, thanks, So then she has to go and get drunk again. Well, first she has to res, and then she has to go back to Ironforge, and then she has to get drunk again, and then come back. So then she flies up a little bit, and she tries to fall, and she doesn't. And I'm like, that's not gonna be high enough. She goes, well, you got me killed last time. And so then she falls, and of course it doesn't. She doesn't fall far enough. So then she flies back up and she does it again and she doesn't fall far enough, and now she's all worried about it. So then she's like, and we're like, okay, well let's levitate, and so but the thing is the first time she flies up and she tries to another character, gets some light feathers, sends them to her. This was a complex effort here, and then finally she gets back on and she drops her thing and starts to fall, and I'm like, no, wait till you almost hit the ground. I think you have to have a fall 65 feet. So then she tries to cast levitate on herself, but she doesn't do an alt click, you know. She does a click, and then she realizes she has to target herself, and then she splats. She's dead again. So then she's mad at me again, you know, and she's like, "You're trying to get me killed." I'm like, "No, I swear I'm not," you know. So finally, she reses again. She does it again, and I'm like, "Okay, fly really, really." And this is right before I left to come to work, so I'm assuming she got it, but I don't know. I'm like, "Okay, well look, fly really, really high, fall the distance, and then use levitate to drift down the last little bit of it." You know,
wow.
Because she did it once, but she levitated too far, and she was 65 feet up, but she levitated probably about 20 feet, and so it didn't credit it. But anyway, long story short,
so
my wife was harassing me.
You made that so overly complicated. Did you know about the rise in the scryer?
I didn't know how high that was. I read that in the chat room.
Oh, well, it's perfect. It got me the first achievement of just following that, like, without the drunkenness, right? Just the regular one. So, you know, and I cheated. I did a search on the web, and it was like, stand in this spot, now just jump off, and you got it, and you live, and it's perfect. So if you want to do it the easy way, I guess you could do it like that, but...
So where's the spot in the scryer? Just on their elevator?
No, it's actually not on the elevator. It's on the corner. I believe you fall in some water. I don't know. This was so long ago. This is probably
so falling in water works.
Yeah. You don't die when you fall in water.
Yeah. So I was just thinking, if that works, then anybody could just fly on their mount above a big water and then just drop into it.
I didn't think about that.
Well, I was thinking about the levitate. So just levitating won't count towards it.
Right. Okay. And if you levitate down, you do not get credit.
Okay. Because that was the first thing I did with my mage when I started putting in glyphs. Is I got the one that you don't need the light feathers for.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of having to buy light feathers or find them, and I was like, just click, and then you're running everywhere, clicky, clicky. I can levitate everywhere now.
Yeah, it sounds like there might be a glyph like that for everybody, right? To not use a reagent.
Yeah, I mean, I have one for my druid that on my reses it doesn't cost.
There's one for Death Knight too, for Raise Dead or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's like the lazy glyph.
Yeah.
I'm lazy. I use this glyph. Yeah. I know I could use this one that gave me 0.3% DPS, but. I'd rather be lazy.
Yeah.
So.
Are we done? We done with the Brewfest?
I was trying to think if there's any other here's some information that Hordes might need. This may have just been our server, but there is one of the achievements is to drink brew, and you got to drink it from all the different races from there. The trolls outside of Ogrenmar would not sell to me. They wouldn't sell to my alt. They wouldn't sell to anyone I knew. And everybody shouting out, "Hey, how do I buy Voodoo Brew?" or whatever. Just go to one of the other camps anywhere else, like Undercity or Stormwind, wherever, and you can buy it there. And just do it that way. It just seems to be bugged. I'm not looking forward to grinding out my tokens for the rest of the week. But I had fun today. Right? It's like it's a one-day nice.
And when I first got there, it was right after midnight. I mean, everything had just opened up, and I mean, it was packed. There were people everywhere. I mean, you'd be clicking to buy things, and the vendors were too busy to do business with you. So, I don't know, it's kind of fun, short run, and then like you see, your guildmates, you're like, oh, hey! It's also kind of a social get-together sort of thing, but I don't know if I'm looking forward to doing this all week to try to get my stuff.
Yeah, and conversely, I want them to do more for Pirate Day next year. Like, give me enough stuff to do for, 3 hours.
Yeah, there should be good pirate quests. I mean, with all the pirate stuff in this game, there should be some more.
Like, and get your costume from Dresna or whatever her name is, and then go be able to do some other quest with the Buccaneers or some other pirates somewhere. Maybe you can even get faction on that one day towards the pirates to get the Admiral's cap or whatever it is. Things like that. Work in something like that, or just a completely different storyline. Either one. Just an idea. Because I know Blizzard listens.
Of course they do.
We've been mentioned on the Blizzard blog. No, sorry.
No, then my computer would blow up, not just our website.
There's a little piece of news, a little machinima news.
Yes.
Want to hear about it?
What is that? Machinima news.
There's a new WoW model viewer available that is compatible with patch 3.2, and this one's actually pretty cool because it has the Worgen race as forms in there, so that you can put armor on them and move them around and put them in your movies.
Wow.
Nice.
Pretty well.
So this is the same people making the same one, just a new version. Okay,
Right.
great.
Yep, it is free, of course, so that's pretty cool.
Because I actually pulled out Fraps this morning.
Really?
I hadn't used it in like the longest time, you know.
Yeah, me either.
But we were going up to do Drunken Brew, and I was like, hey, this might be cool to film this, and then maybe do a little guild movie to throw up or something, you know. And I checkmarked the thing to have it start up when I power up from now on, so I'll have hopefully some more machinima.
Yeah, we haven't talked about machinima in forever, but you know, I don't even know if I've even said this on this show yet, but Second Skin is already on DVD, and it is the documentary that follows groups of people that play WoW, and it is really a good movie. You can.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I finally saw it. Yeah. If I haven't said it on this show, I did the machinima, the WoW machinima, and of course I used the WoW model viewer and Fraps, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and the map viewer, and those three tools right there are good enough to do machinima with. So anyway, that movie is out, so definitely check it out. I don't even have the DVD yet. I watched it on Hulu. I was really hoping they would give me a copy of the movie since I helped work on it.
Yeah, that is a little weird.
Yeah, but man, it turned out great. It's really cool. So, and you know, Andy, one of the guys was one of the WoW subjects.
Okay.
You know. He went on to be the community manager over at Mythic.
Oh, really?
He's the Warhammer.
Well, that's WoW, because they did a horrible job over there as community people. I'm just kidding.
No, he's not.
So, yeah.
No, he's
so
really
check that
not.
out.
He's not kidding.
And in fact, they even put Dead Workers Party in the credits too, just as a company. So I thought that was nice of them.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna borrow your copy and watch it.
When I get a copy, yeah.
Oh.
I should, you know, I should get it, yeah. The movie's good. So next.
There is no next.
There is no.
Well, no, there's some next. There's some links. I'm just not looking at it.
Okay.
In the actually, we got 2 links. One is to Emergency Kindergarten Lesson 1, Shapes and Colors. This is pretty funny. This is it a priest going through the shapes that you can mark in Warcraft and
your Lucky Charms for your.
Yeah, it's very condescending. I guess that you could say this is machinima, but it's really it's a cartoon. I mean, it's funny. The girl who made it for her guild, but it looks to be kind of popular, and it's funny.
Obviously, some people were getting confused about what was the next target for them.
Yeah.
And so she goes over the shapes and the Lucky Charms very calmly to let you understand exactly which shape is which.
Yeah. Emergency kindergarten lesson. That's awesome. Very cool. Very cool.
And what's the second one? Snugnort newsletter? You put this in here. You should know.
Spugnort, yeah. That is a newsletter that I've been reading for a long, long time. And I linked to that because he always has some really cool news items in here. Check out Spugnort. It's Spugnort. You know, I think it's just spugnort.com. But I get his newsletter. It's really good. He covers other MMOs as well, but most recently Ion. But he has some really good World of Warcraft news in there, and that's kind of my first source for news. Other than, of course, just listening to. I like Blue Please on WoW Radio, and sometimes The Instance. So yeah, all right.
I like to just make news.
You like to make it, huh?
I'm just kidding.
All right.
So,
what about the add-on? Let's talk about the add-on.
We've got a notable add-on today. This one is one I actually used with all this faction grinding that I've been doing. Because that's the worst part about faction grinding, when you got to turn in 80 quests at one time and sit there, turn in 5, turn in 5, turn in 5, turn in 5, click, 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 click. Well, okay, I got this add-on called Repeatable Quest Helper, and basically all you have to do is click on the quest guy, and it will run through all the stuff.
I remember this
Click
one.
the quest, hand in the stuff, and then close up. There, you got your faction. So you just keep clicking on them, and it'll just cycle through. Now, the one thing I will warn is it does some kind of buggy behavior if you have it on and you're going to do normal quest without turning in. But you can turn it on and off just with a, I believe it's just /RQH on and off. And so, really, you just need to install it for when you're doing faction stuff, and then uninstall it or turn it on and off, either one.
The time I use it a lot is in AV.
Yeah.
To try to get horde rep. You can turn in blood, like in the armor scraps or whatever it is. Just ding 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 ding. You know, because when you're out there and you're turning in that stuff, usually you have a big pile of it. Like, I mean, you probably wouldn't want to go turn in all this stuff all the way in the cave if you only have a little bit. So this add-on's awesome for that.
Yeah. So definitely recommend it. You of course get it at Curse. You should have the downloader by now. If
Do you know I'm actually running WoW mod free right now?
that doesn't surprise me at all.
I don't have a single mod going. I need to get a new
Really?
version of Bongos.
You mean you deal with the default
I'm using default UI.
UI? That's weird.
Yep.
They've put in so much to their UI that it really is not a bad default UI. It's actually a really good default UI, and it's one of those where after a patch, I'm not as hurt as I am in some games.
Yeah.
Like they put in enough.
Well, that's what I got frustrated by, is because I wasn't playing all that much, so I didn't like having to go in and update everything, and I know the Curse updater does that, but this is before it was really handy at that. But
and before they turned off add-ons, like originally if they had bad add-ons it would just still try to load them, but now after a patch they automatically turn off all add-ons until the add-on owner goes in and basically says yes, this works for the update.
Yeah.
So before that, it was after an update, I hated life.
Yep.
Sucked.
Yep.
Sorry.
And I mean, really, all I wanted to do, the main thing I wanted out of my add-ons was I liked having unique unit frames, and then I wanted to take all my icons and put them in a block to clear up my screen a little bit so that I had, more real estate on the screen. But nowadays, the default UI really doesn't take up that much real estate. I don't know. I'm not having any problems with it.
Yeah. But for those people that love add-ons, and I just love add-ons, Curse. One day they'll sponsor us, I'm sure. I guess here we got from the mailbox, listener contributions. We got something here from Requisition, who's actually joined us live today, because we try to stream this live every Sunday when we record at various times.
Yes.
And Requisition says, I just wanted to answer Ash's question last week about the Authenticator app. It does indeed run on the iPod Touch as well as the iPhone. I know this because I use it myself on the Touch. Love the podcast. Keep it up. A Requisition, who is Aldenoth in our guild on Dawnbringer, which is Lunar Dawn.
One bad thing about the about that thing, what is it called, Authenticator app, is that it broke. They updated it and then it broke, and then Blizzard frantically took it off the Apple Store, the App Store or whatever.
When is this?
Now, if you try to do a search and try to download it, you can't. It says this app is no longer here or something.
What?
So, yeah.
Mine worked just fine this morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you update it?
I haven't seen any updates for it.
Oh, good. Maybe they turned that off. Okay. Well, good. It looks like you have one that works. But yeah, it's
Because I mean, if you don't have it, you're not getting in. So
yeah.
I mean, it seems like it would be a much larger issue.
Yeah, it's a big issue. Like, people are having to prove that they, without having the serial number of that app, then you have to fax all this stuff. You have all this information you have to send to Blizzard, and there's reports of people saying that it takes about 2 weeks to come back so that you can log back into your account.
Huh.
So just a big warning to people using the Authenticator app, especially the updated buggy one.
Sweet, I'm glad I didn't update.
Yeah.
Now you have me all worried though. Like, see, this is why I'm wondering if you can have the Authenticator app and the physical key.
Yeah.
Because then I would get it. I mean, it's only a few bucks. I believe it's like $4 or $5, $6 at the most.
Yeah.
Just as a backup, right? If the iPhone goes down or something.
Well, make sure you write down the serial number of the Authenticator app.
Okay.
As long as you have that, you can present that to Blizzard, and you can cut out about 2 weeks worth of crap. So make sure, maybe put it in a Google Doc or something, or put it in write it on your underwear.
I am putting it in a tattoo right now.
Okay, that works too. Very cool.
So, while you're doing that, what are we going to do on this podcast?
Also, Requisition wanted to say, P.S. The Guild of Dawnbringer is rocking. If anyone is still thinking of joining, I highly encourage it. And I'm just saying this as a, I don't know, as a precaution to me and my friends who were not warned about me telling people they could join the guild. That the people in this guild are family. I mean, it's people I know personally, go to lunch with weekly, and their wives and their husbands and kids,
their
and it's my family, and they're my family, and if you're cool and want to join the family, they're cool with that.
Yeah.
But if you screw with my family, I will not have it, and you will be out on your rumpkins really fast.
Yeah.
We had actually a story about that. We had our healer, one of our good healers in our guild was in a raid. I'm not going to mention any names here. But during the raid, something weird was going on with their, like, the warrior was, like, standing in poison and wouldn't move out and doing just weird things. And they basically, okay, precursor to this, they ran something and they kept saying, hey, man, you need to join our guild because you're such a good healer. Right? And they were trying to cap one of our healers, right? Anyway, so then they went to the crusade to do this thing, and the warrior kept dying, and they kept telling her to heal, like she wasn't healing right or something. They kicked her from the thing and told her she just sucked at healing and just, like, you know, said some just nasty stuff to her. And I was like, that's crappy. I mean, I've sent them a tell. I got their guild one of their officers, and I was just like, you know, A, I'm not really happy that y'all tried to poach someone from our guild, but B, also, if you don't talk to, you know, our guild members like that, you know, none of us appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought I'd get a lot of crap back from you, oh, blah, 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 but he's like, oh, we'll look into it, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
So.
You have to represent.
Yeah, don't mess with my family, that's all I'm saying. Anyway. Thank you for listening. You can definitely join us at deadworkers.ning, ning.com, which is a new little group we've set up, and deadworkers.com/community is where our forums, which of course you can find at the ning.com thing.
Yeah.
Twitter, Wes Wilson, Nailhead, Brent Copeland, any of those. I'm only at like 300 and something, but when I get to 4, I got a card here given out.
That's
and
right.
We got some others. We got to figure out how. You weren't here last week. I got 2 more cards that we can give out. I don't know if we want to give them out on y'all's feeds or if we figure out some other way.
Let's see what you got here. Looks like we have Landro Longshot, Rest and Relaxation, and Fortune Telling.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. So if you don't remember what those are, Landro Longshot's the tabard.
Yep.
The Fortune Telling is basically an imp in it. It's like an 8-ball. It's an imp in a ball that you shake up and it answers your question.
Oh, that's cool.
And then the last one is umbrella. Yeah, umbrella with a picnic basket.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Which is really cool.
Cool. I want the fortune telling one.
I want the picnic basket. I have the tabard on my alliance character that I no longer play anymore.
Faction change.
Yes.
Faction change.
I'm going to flip and ship him next month for $55.
Wow.
Because I already spent $55 on a different character this month, and I'm trying to space it out. That way it doesn't hurt as much.
Were you going to bring any of your alliance people over to Durotan?
Durotan? What's over there?
That's where all my alliance characters are.
Oh, I think I'm just done with alliance for now.
Okay, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather you. What? I'm not dissing alliance. Awesome. I'm just saying I would rather play with all these people that are now gathered in this one place. Yeah. I'm just, you know.
Well, that's kind of how I am.
Yeah.
I mean,
I still play the game by myself. I still solo. That's because I'm leveling. So I'm trying to just get through it. I'm not having the greatest time leveling because I know how much fun everybody's having at 80. I log in, everybody's in Old War, everybody's hanging out.
See, but I mean, I'm having a good time with my higher. I just don't like leveling low-level people. I like right now doing the level stuff with my. I love doing all the quests. I love seeing all the stuff. Now me and my wife do it together. I mean, unless we can play together, we do not see any new content.
Yeah.
And that's what we do is we'll go back and do all the dailies from the previous zone, stuff like that. But we don't see any new content unless we do it together.
Okay.
So
that's sweet.
Yep,
that's romantic.
Can't wait till y'all get up in the hizzy on Dawn Brigger.
Yep.
Izzy.
All right, well, is that about it for this thing?
It is.
That is another episode of World of WoW. Episode 43. Next week, 44. Imagine that.
Yeah, one more.
One more in the bank. All right, well, we'll catch you next time.